Really stuck up.
I don't know. Christy stepped out too. Welcome, everybody. We'll try to get you guys out. Unless you want to stay for the next 4 hours, you could stay. Welcome, everybody, to the regularly scheduled Board of Trustees meeting for Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Is there a motion to open tonight's meeting? Trustee Rosen Asher, second. Trustee Sullivan, all in favor. Meeting is hereby open. Trustee Patino is excused for tonight's meeting. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The first item on the agenda is a presentation regarding the DPW, but I'm going to switch things around, and I'm going to move the appointments up to number 1 so I could get everybody out. So let me just... Chief, you want to come up? Tonight's always a very pleasurable evening when we get to welcome a new member to the police department or to the village as a whole. So welcome. It's an exciting night. And I want to introduce the Chief of Police from Dobbs Ferry. Rick, come on up.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Chief of Police of Dobbs Ferry. It's a very exciting evening, and we're looking forward to bringing Henry onto the department.
Henry, why don't you come on up? Looking good. So much over here. So I have a little bio from the chief. So if there's any mistakes, it's the chief's mistakes, not mine. So Henry Ramos began his law enforcement career with the City of New York Police Department in 2020. And you want to leave there for here. I wonder why. Where he was assigned to patrol duties within the confines of the 52nd Precinct. Henry has spent his career responding to emergency calls for service and assisting his community in their times of need. Henry has successfully completed all standardized screening requirements, including an extensive background investigation, which included a medical screening. All Westchester County Department of Human Resources requirements have been met, and we therefore welcome you to the village. I forgot to give you the oath. Final test. Raise your right hand. Do Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of police officer of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability? Congratulations. I also need to, wait. I also need, and I'm surprised Laura Lee's not checking on me, I hereby, do I need a motion for this? Is there a motion to appoint Henry Ramos as police officer to the Village of Dobbs Ferry? First, trustee Galen, second, trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? Now it's official. Now, who do you want to call up to pin you with the badge? Vic? Is he- You can, sure.
I just wanted to add on, so Officer Victor Wilson is one of Dobbs Ferry's police officers, and I just wanted to reiterate that, we met Henry at the recommendation of Officer Victor Wilson, and I think that there is no better recruitment when it comes from within to outside members about the working conditions and the atmosphere. And it makes me feel very, very proud of this police department, that the mission that we are trying to provide for the residents of Dobbs Ferry, is felt by the officers themselves, because they're the ones that do the job. And to recommend a fellow New York City police officer to come to Dobbs Ferry, it's a big deal. And I just wanted to recognize Officer Wilson, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate all my officers. They make me look really good. And, it does not go unnoticed, so I thank you.
And you showed him the locker room and everything, and he still wanted to be? So here you go. I don't have to worry about you stabbing him.
No,
I get the easy way. Words and acknowledge your family. If you want to come up for a picture, that's up to you.
I don't have a lot to say. Just first and foremost, to my family as a whole, we wouldn't be here without the support of all of you. To my baby girls, I strive to be better than I was yesterday, every day for you. To my dad, my hero in life. Tomas, to you in particular, I want to thank you, because I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for you. I really wouldn't. You were the one that kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, maybe it's a good idea for you. And you have been looking out for me, been a mentor to me ever since. So thank you. Vic, the word friend is not a word that I throw around lightly. In life, you really have seldom very, very good, genuine friends. And because of your stubborn persistence is the only reason why I'm here. And I'm so very grateful to you. And you have definitely, in my heart, infiltrated and definitely earned that title of friend. So thank you. Amor, a ti te doy gracias por tu apoyo, siempre por estar ahí en mi esquina. No importa la ocasión o la situación. Te doy gracias, te amo. And I just thank you all for just the support in general. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sure, we can go over a picture.
Okay. Everybody, we're going to do a picture, so why don't you all come up?
Chief, before he leaves.
Oh, you guys are on this side? You're in the middle.
It's hard to even see me.
work. Congratulations. Thank you. You need transitional after. Gotcha.
Appreciate it.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, good luck.
Welcome to Dobbs Ferry.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. Congratulations. This is the off.
That's always the highlight of these meetings, when we do things like this, so really warms your heart. And Henry, you have to stay to the bitter end. That's your first night tonight, first assignment tonight. You cannot leave.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When does he start, tomorrow? Okay.
All right.
No, don't party too much then tonight. Okay, then we're going to go to the presentation of the Department of Public Works from Steve Trezor, the DPW General Foreman. And I want to thank you, Steve, and your whole staff for last night. I know that was a very challenging night for everyone. You guys were out there working like very difficult circumstances, and we appreciate everything that you did. I'm sure you worked most of the night, if not all of it. So thank you very much for everything that you've done. So tonight's a good night for you to speak then, because you did a good job last night.
Good evening, Mayor and Board of Trustees. I'd like to give you a little report on what the men and women do at the Dobbs Ferry DPW. We're a staff of 25 men and women. We are broken down into 4 departments. First department is admin. We have 2 people in there. What their daily duty is, we take, answer phones, emails, go to meetings, talk to residents if they have any questions. We work closely with the village engineers, sustainability. We order all the equipment that we have here. The central garage is our 2 mechanics. You had one, but last meeting we hired another one. Thank you for that. They maintain over 100 vehicles on a daily basis. They do oil changes, brakes, flat tires, salt spreaders, plows, fire equipment, police cars, and then whatever else comes up during the day. Highway department has 7 men. They maintain the streets every day to make sure they're safe and clean. We go out and use a sweeper every day. You get complaints that it's allowed. We clean out catch basins before and after every storm. We go around and paint the crosswalks and stop lines throughout the town on a yearly basis. They're out there now doing that. We have a guy out there watering the plants in the downtown. As you can see, they look very nice during the summer and during the fall. We go around and we fill in potholes as needed with the new hot box that we purchased last year. We've done about 14 ton of blacktop already this year. As I said, we go out and cut down trees as we did last night. We clean the roads after the big storm. Parks Department has 4 men. They maintain every village park that we have and fields. As you can see, they spend a lot of time down the waterfront. It's looking good down there. They're down there during early mornings, 7 days a week, cleaning up all the garbage and bathrooms. They maintain a ball fields for the school and the Little League when there's games. And then there's one buildings guy. That's Joe, sits right there.
Buildings guy.
Buildings. He just doesn't do that. He goes out, he brings the vendors into the buildings, the maintenance. And then we have 9 garbage men. They're out there every day picking garbage up, recycling. They pick up yard waste, metal. They bring it to whatever transfer station that they have to go to. And then there's a couple of projects that we have going on. We just hung up over 100 American flags with 82 military banners. We installed the 3 new umbrellas at the pool, redid the bocce court, hung up Kendra's new lights down there. And we're in the process of putting new cafe lights up and down Main Street again. And that's about what we do. And we work closely with the fire department and the police department every day. And these are a very proud group of men. They like working for the village of Dobbs Ferry.
Thank you very much. You can see that they are very proud of, and most of them live here or were
Yep.
born and raised here, so we appreciate it. And I know when it's snowing,
We're, in my eyes, we're the best in the snow.
Yeah, I have to say, we have a very difficult area, and you guys do a great job, and I know, like, I saw you go back and forth. Benefit, I guess, of living next to the DPW is I get to see you guys all the time, right? So I saw you guys go back and forth a million times yesterday. So thank you again for everyone.
You're
Please
welcome.
thank the staff,
Thank
all of us. And any other questions or comments for them?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Okay, so let's move along. Courtesy of the floor. Anybody here for courtesy of the floor? Andy?
Good evening. Randy Klipstein. I live at 65 Landing Drive. And tonight I'm here representing Focus, Friends of Wickers Creek Archaeological Site. And I want to talk about the exhibit in the back of this building, Wickers Creek Site. Alan Harris was here a year or two ago and suggested that the exhibit needs a little bit of love and attention after all these years, and that hasn't changed. And we have a couple of updates on that. Number one, we suggest that the exhibit be moved. The present location being adjacent to an external door and subject to sunlight from all the glass that's there has contributed to the condition and faded a lot of the material. Further, we suggest that it be moved to the library. There's great synergy with the library and educational endeavors, the usage of the library, particularly by children and just in general, the foot traffic that the library gets. And further, we've communicated with Eric Carlson, who is interested in hosting the exhibit. So again, we think it just needs a little love and attention, not a lot of money. Perhaps most of it can be done by the DPW staff. Focus has photographs that can supplement the exhibit, as does the Historical Society, and we believe that there's funds available from friends organizations like Focus and perhaps Friends of the Library, and also from private donations as was secured when the exhibit first was put up. So again, appreciate your attention to this and looking forward to working with you on it.
Thank you, Randy. It seems very reasonable to me to move it to the library, especially if the library is interested in it. So, Rob, you want to contact Eric and see you can work out the details?
Happy to, yes.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you, and you'll have to find a new exhibit for that spot.
Yes.
Can I just also suggest that maybe in partnership with the Human Rights and Diversity Committee or someone else, I don't know if there are groups that you're in touch with in regards to the indigenous history of Wickers Creek, and, you know, it'd be fantastic to get, there are a number of active groups in the area, if we could get them involved, and, you know, if you're going to elaborate on the exhibition, to include them as well would be
Yeah,
wonderful.
we have spoken to them. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Yeah. Anybody else for courtesy of the floor? Okay, so we're going to take a break to go into advice of counsel. So is there a motion to go into the advice of counsel? Trustee Nell, second. Trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? We're going to take a break and go into advice of counsel.
Even the video looks weird with blue.
Okay, well, we're back, and I want to thank everyone for their patience, and I appreciate it. So we're going to start working through the resolutions. So the first item is we're going to discuss and perhaps authorize some financial support to the Dobbs-Ferry Ambulance Corps. So, Christy, I know you've been involved with this with Trustee Patino. Do you want to give us a little background on it?
Sure. So the Dobbs-Ferry back is they've been struggling with keeping up with their finances because they have to pay for a lot of per diems, the people that work for them that are not volunteers, which is the majority of the people that work for our VAC, or the VAC. And they've been struggling with their equipment and the ambulances, and they have been coming to us for longer than I've been back on the board with these problems. At the same time, Irvington's VAC has reached out in that they're hoping to work together more and potentially collaborate or partner or merge into a agency that could serve both villages. And our VAC is in discussions with them on that. And as a general concept, I think a lot of us think that there's a lot of savings that could be had in consolidation and in many ways throughout all municipal services. And so this seems like a very promising arrangement that could happen. So in their current situation, they're asking for support with their burn rate because they're getting close to zero in their balance. So they've asked for, and we don't have the specifics in here, but it's around 10 to 15K a month is their burn rate per what SWAP has told us. And we could potentially be helping them in this time while they're talking with Irvington about creating something possibly like the Rivertowns VAC, which we've been helping facilitate those conversations too, because it's just like wrangling cats. So that's where we are. And I think it would be great to show them that we have their back and that we support their move towards this merger, and have some terms in place for this money that we help them with. There's an opportunity for them to be working, now with them. They could be partnering currently with them on certain parts of the services that they do. Like the Irvington VAC has highlighted overnights as a place of savings for both VACs if they were to start working together sooner. So I believe that they are open to figuring that out. So we could be doing this, possibly reassessing each month as to how much we're giving them. We could be asking them for certain information or spending or costs to help figure out what that amount could be. But I think that I would like to try and help get them closer to this merger and make sure that we have strong ambulance services in the village.
Thanks. So I think it's clear to everyone who's touched by this whole situation that the future of the ambulance corps, whether it be Dobbs Ferry, whether it be Irvington or Tarrytown or any other river towns, is consolidation. As the number of volunteers just drops, and it turns out that really none of the people who come to our houses or on the ambulance are volunteers, that it's important that we prepare for the future. And I think by preparing for the future, it is a merger of these Rivertown Ambulance Corps into one overall Rivertown Ambulance Corps. And I think to go through, it's not an easy thing to do. People have dedicated so much time and energy to, and volunteered so much time and energy to their individual village ambulance corps, that it's sometimes it's hard to realize and recognize what's happening. And I think our job as fiduciaries to the village is to nudge and get people in the right place so that we can be more efficient and we can service not only Dobbs Ferry residents, but all the other river towns that we also have to cover by mutual aid. So along those lines, I know Trustee Nell and Trustee Patino and the village administrator have been working closely to try to come up with a structure that would satisfy the needs of all these residents. And I think this would show that we are willing to support them during this transition, but we have to make it clear that this is just to get them through their transition, that the goal is to consolidate with the other ambulance corps. And I think to that end, it is, we've made it clear that this is if we vote for this, that it is per month, not to exceed 6 calendar months, and that we would want a report at a public meeting on September 9th, 2025. So with those benchmarks in place, I feel comfortable with that, but I do think we have to continue to strive and necessarily pull people together to reach this merger. So it's not an easy thing. It's been going on, frankly, since before COVID. We saw this happening, and it's happening in other communities. So we can talk about the dollar amount. For me, it would be $10,000 per month. But again, we can talk about it and see if we can build a consensus on it. So I'm happy to talk about it. Matt, you want to talk?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to Christy and to Michael, Trustees Patino and Nell, for those following at home. My understanding, and Christy, please correct me if I'm wrong, is that by consolidating and working together on night shifts now, there is an estimate that between the Dobbs Ferry VAC and the Irvington VAC, there would be about $15,000 in per diem savings from doing that. So for me, I think, one of the stipulations for this should be that they begin merging their operations for night shifts right away, and that if they do that, then their burn rate, as they've articulated, of like $12,000 to $15,000, could be half of what it is. So in that case, I think $7,500 is fine if they go and do that and do realize that savings. It may be that savings is theoretical and doesn't bear out. So I'm fine starting with a higher number like 10,000, but we'll want to know, within a month what the savings actually is of doing that, so that we can adjust in the second month. My feeling is that as they move closer to a merger, that these expenses should start to go down as they start to integrate, even before the new legal entity is fully formulated. So I don't think we should, I think committing to an up to number is fine, but we should have the flexibility to concretize that number on a monthly basis based on based on data for how they have been making progress as they go. I also think, and again, from discussions with Trustees Patino and Nell, that there are a number of different ways that a merger can take shape. I think in the resolution it references that there are 3 different ways. There seems to be one of them that makes the most sense from a speed and cost perspective, One of them makes by far the least sense because it creates risk of no reimbursements from Medicaid over a potential 6 months, which would increase costs rather than reduce them. So I think we should, to the extent possible in whatever contract arises from this resolution, we should heavily put our thumb on the scale of the most efficient and cost-effective way of having the two backs consecrate a merger.
Okay, Trustee Galen?
Yeah, I'm in support of this, and I don't know if we need to decide on the number. I don't know, do we need to decide on a number tonight, or what happens regarding the number?
I think we do.
Yes.
And not to exceed amount, and you authorized me to draft the memorandum of agreement, which I can.
Okay. Well, I defer to the folks who've had more conversations about what that number should be. I'm in support of moving in this direction. I think we're all incredibly grateful for the work that the DFVAC does and that other VACs in our region do. There's a tremendous amount of mutual aid that takes place, and we're all already very interreliant. And I think one thing that we've heard consistently is that the quality of the availability and level of service can actually increase from a move like this. And so I want to just also be really clear that this decision to consolidate and create some efficiencies will not result in a deterioration of the high level of service that folks have come to expect across our communities. So I think it's a really exciting next step for the VAC, and I look forward to seeing where we go with it.
Yeah, one thing I don't feel like, one thing I didn't quite understand, like before doing any of this on the board, was that the DFVAC is its own entity. Like, it's separate from the village. It's not like the fire department. It's not like the library. It's completely separate, and it always had operated as its own nonprofit that like raised its own money and had volunteers, and so us stepping in, that's why there's so much discussion about it, is because it's not our entity, and it's basically us supporting something that we need to have as a service to our residents, but it's not ours to like make better or do. It's not us, it's their entity. And so we want to help them because we wanted to do better, but it's not really our place to run it or like improve it ourselves. So that was a learning curve for me that I just want to acknowledge for anyone who's also, potentially.
The last two state legislative sessions, draft legislation, which would have provided EMS as an essential service and allowed you to have direct support, were defeated. This past session, they had gutted the legislation, and now that the one item they left was a regional study to see the best way to develop regional shared services. So again, I can't make it any clearer. It's against the New York State Constitution to make a donation to them. And since the legislation has been defeated twice in the New York State Legislature, which would have allowed you to provide support, has been defeated twice, it seems as though the way is clear, and that we had an attorney with us at the meeting. He provided 3 options, and then according to correspondence that came around today, one of the options truly has been the preferred option, and we can certainly press forward in the memorandum of agreement to get them moving on that. They were given a week to decide from among the 3 options, so.
But the goal long-term is still for them to be their own entity that does that fundraises their own for themselves, that operates
Billing,
independently of the village, and we would not be contributing ongoing.
They, in this case, being the River Towns merged
Yeah,
back.
either way, right. So as a Rivertown's back, it would then operate independently. We would be, and we have to discuss with Irvington how we want to support them in this effort to become that entity that can then do better on its own as a combined thing. But the long-term goal is to not be doing this every month. It's not to be using tax dollars. It's for them to operate as their own entity.
So this is an emergency
Yes.
funding effort.
Yeah.
Let's hear from everybody. So
Sorry.
Trustee,
Yeah. Okay, so I think that I'm all in favor of shared services in general, as, you know, we can't keep burdening the taxpayers for so many services that we provide, and it's great, but it's really kind of unsustainable as it's set up, unless we become one general Westchester school district. There, you know, so we do have to come up with creative ways, and I love the idea of doing this, because I do think ultimately it will provide better service for people in Dobbs Ferry and in Irvington. I do want some clarity on the amount of money, and I also agree that if we're helping them out as a separate nonprofit entity, then we do want to see the expenditures, the accountability, and see what's going on, because as Matt said, like, the idea of doing this is so they can provide better service, but also save money. And while it's not our job to help fund this, I do think it behooves us to help different nonprofit entities that help. I mean, I would just as soon give money to the food pantry and things like that, that are providing services that those are the only people who are providing it, you know? So right now, this is the ambulance corps that we have. I think it will be better, but I think that part of how we got to this point is because, just as you said, there was a misunderstanding by a lot of people of what the VAC was, who was responsible for it, and what our connection to it is. And I think there's many people who assume that it is a department, the same way the fire department is a department, or the police department is a department, because it falls under emergency services. So I think that the explanation of this and the communication around this topic needs to be handled deftly, so that people really understand that we're not like giving something that is expected, that that's something we're supposed to do, but that we are being benevolent in helping this merger and this thing to get off the ground, to provide better service to all the people that it's providing. So the numbers are like the one thing that's missing from this, so I do think that that's a key point. And I don't know what the numbers are or should be, because I don't know exactly what kind of hole they're in, or what's going to actually help. And so, you know, so if there was
They have-
a dollar amount that they provided.
Let me just finish.
then,
Okay,
yeah,
so Trustee
that would-
Sullivan,
I agree that we should move forward with the resolution, and I agree it shouldn't be no more than 10,000 a month.
okay, so to get along, and I think Matt touched upon it, and I know you brought it up as well, that if they immediately started sharing the overnight shift, they would be saving $7,500 each,
Potentially.
potentially. So, I think that burn rate, you said was like 15,000?
It's 10, they had told us in June it was between 10 and 12,000 a month.
Okay. So we could do 7,500, or we could do 10? What's the consensus?
I think we should give ourselves the flexibility of going up to 10 each month, but
It says.
evaluate on a monthly
Yeah.
basis based on data that they provide to us.
I agree.
And the Board of Trustees, their fiduciary duty obligates them to review each and every claim that comes before you in the treasurer's list of claims against the village funding. So you will have the opportunity on a month-to-month basis to deny a claim or to revise a claim, or et cetera, depending on the information. And I just copied down some of the terms that, you know, you all had mentioned. So clearly, the agreement will have a lot of obligations on the part of the Dobbs Ferry VAC, given the fact that a direct donation and support is against the law. So this is clearly an emergency situation, and with an end result that they will be sharing services and be an independent corporation again.
Okay, so we're going to
Could
fill
be
in here.
so on a reimbursement basis for actual claims that they submit
Yeah, what
to
is
the
the, how does
village,
the
to be clear.
claims work?
Oh, they'll be
In the
submitted.
That's an
past-
interesting-
In the past, they provided payroll records to show how much they spent within a month.
So why don't we can do something like that, where we'll meet the payroll not to exceed $10,000.
But I think, Jeff, if you can,
That's what
can sort of track the curve, because if they start sharing overnights, there should be a baseline of where they are now.
Right.
And then that should decline almost immediately as they start sharing overnight services. So if there's a way to like, just keep a spreadsheet that will like show us an expense curve over the next number of months.
Theoretically, you'll see the claim going down, so, because I would recommend if you choose to only support up to the payroll that they provide, not
Right.
the full 10,000.
Correct.
Right. Okay, so let's,
Whichever is less.
so let's make that clear in the
That will be in the agreement.
Payroll or 10,000, whichever is less, not to exceed 10,000.
Right.
But we're not going to see that just by, flipping through the audit of claims. I think we might need your help.
That's fine.
Seeing that.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're okay with that? Okay, so let's move forward with this. So is there a motion to authorize temporary administrative and financial support to the Dobbinsbury Volunteer Ambulance Corps during a transition period leading to a joint venture with the Irvington Volunteer Ambulance Corps, not to exceed $10,000 per month as per the agreement that village attorney will execute with the Volunteer Ambulance Corps?
And not to exceed 6 months.
Not to exceed, well, that's what it says in there.
It's all in the resolution.
Okay, is there a motion? Trustee Rosen Asher, got it right. Second, trustee Nell, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Let's move on to action item number 2. This concerns the grant for the Lower Memorial Park that we were talking partially about in the workshop. This is another possible access to money that we can get from a different fund for a different grant. So this, if we go forward with this, would be a matching grant. So we're committing to matching $675,000 from this. So it seems like this is the way to go. I think we indicated as such in the workshop. So is there a motion to authorize the submission of a consolidated funding application for the Lower Memorial Park Improvement Project? Trustee Galen, second trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 3. Is there a motion to ratify an addendum to the village administrator's employment agreement as to be outlined by the village labor attorney? Trustee Galen, second trustee Sullivan, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Rob, I guess you're with us for another year, huh?
Happy to serve. Thank you.
Action item number 4, is there a motion to amend the date of the Dine Out Dobbs event to August 9th, 2025, with a rain date of August 10th, 2025? Trustee Nell, second trustee Galen, all in favor? That passes unanimously. How come?
How come? We didn't get the word out we didn't approve it fast enough here to get it out to the businesses so that they could properly prepare for having it and promoting what they would want to do. Like, they didn't know what timing it was going to be, or what was going to
They're still
happen.
doing the dancing, more dances, still doing the dance.
That's separate, yes.
And also liquor licenses
Yep, they
require
need
at
time
least
to
2 weeks.
prepare.
So they need to be alerted tomorrow so that they can apply for liquor licenses if they want to this week. And that will require the village to sign off on those applications.
Okay. You know, I minimized before, Rob, that we have you for another year. I just want to thank you for everything that you've done. I don't want to minimize it. I feel bad. I'm not minimizing it. We appreciate all the effort that you put forth, your time that you do, how you have to juggle 10,000 different things.
Down to 10,000?
And you've always got a great attitude. You're never in a bad mood when I speak to you anyway. So I just want to thank you for, you're always available, and I'm glad you're going to be around for another year with us. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Board. And again, look forward to another successful year.
Action item number 5 is to consider, let's just do it. Is there a motion to authorize the village administrator to execute a renewal agreement with the Atlantic Westchester for village-wide HVAC maintenance services? Trustee Sullivan, second trustee Rosen Asher, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Is there a motion to approve a block party request from Jessica Fluger at 11 Overlook Road for September 6, 2025, with a rain date of September 7, 2025. I know, I shouldn't say, it's always written that way. I don't know why. It's it's just a.
such thing as a block party requested.
It's just the closure of the street on September 7th from 2 to 5, 11 Overlook Road. Is there a motion? Trustee Rosen Asher, second trustee Sullivan, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Action item number 7, is there a resolution to approve the audit of claims as submitted and recommended by the village treasurer? Trustee Rosen Asher, second trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? That passes unanimously. Now, I'm going to add a motion. I need a motion to add a resolution concerning the extension of the Gould Park pilot program. Let's just leave it at that. Is there a motion? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Galen, all in favor? So that's been added to the agenda, so let's take care of that resolution. So is there a motion to extend the Gould Park pilot program to Sunday through Saturday from up until 10 p.m.?
The pilot program to keep the lights on and allow people to use the park.
Perfect. Is there a motion?
Good job.
Trustee Galen.
Until
Second.
September 1st.
Oh, until September 1st. Second,
The actual Labor Day?
second trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? That passes unanimously. We did it, right? Okay, so trustee Galen, any reports, announcements? No?
Nothing to announce.
Okay, trustee Rosenberg.
Nothing.
Wow. Trustee Sullivan.
Nothing?
Trustee Nell.
No, nothing.
Trustee Rosen Asher.
We had a great Pride celebration down by the waterfront, so I want to thank the Human Rights and Diversity Committee for that. I want to thank the police for that, the DPW for that. It was just it was a great day. It was very hot. But it was great. It was a great day.
And you
That's all I
walked, and
got.
I did not walk. Absolutely right.
Oh, the 4th of July event was great.
4th of
It was
July.
my first time I've ever been to one, and it was fabulous. I loved every minute that I was there.
It was great, I thought. I did get one complaint that it was too short. So I don't
That
know.
too.
What?
The fireworks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Heard
the
that too.
fireworks?
I
They were
heard-
shorter than in past years.
Right, and I think that was true, right?
Like they set up last year, like a big delay, and they complained about that.
I'll tell you, I was sick that day, and I went to bed at 9 o'clock just when they were starting, and they did not seem to ever end.
I am curious about the concept of having like the ceremony start later so that everyone stays for like the ceremony and the fun and then the fireworks and it's not such a long.
I agree with you.
I'm
'cause-
very curious
right,
about
we've been
thoughts on
starting at
that
at 3
in general.
o'clock, and it seems no one's there. And we used to do things like a fishing contest or a pie eating contest, and we don't do those things any longer. So if we don't do those things, maybe we should start at 5 o'clock and go from there.
Well, as former Mayor Mara pointed out, on the day, there used to be many organizations in the village that would use that picnic as part of their programming. They would table, they would have their own events that sort of brought more people down for the picnic in the park prior to the fireworks. And maybe that's something that we should find a way to explore again, probably starting soon.
And he was saying, like that was a time when there weren't fireworks. So like everybody would come down in the afternoon for the picnic and then that was it. There wasn't like a 9 o'clock thing too. So now it feels like, oh, you go at 3, you're going to stay and you guys work from 3 until all the way to the end of the fireworks. It seems like a long time when you could just focus on the evening maybe.
I just wanted to say, that I forgot because I wasn't there, but I saw the pictures on Facebook of the soapbox derby that they did on June 29th, and it was another great success. So that's a good addition that we've brought back.
That is a
that
good
was-
tradition, right? Yeah, I want to thank the DPW again. I know that on 4th of July, you had some challenges right from the beginning regarding the bathroom, it was vandalized, but we had a lot of people, thousands of people, and I want to thank you guys for doing that. Pride, also you guys were there taking care of the park, and I was at the jazz concert a couple of days ago, and you guys did a great job cleaning up that area as well. So I know as we get more popular and we put more events out there, it's more of a strain on you guys, and we want the parks to be looking great and pristine. That's one of the draws of being in Dobbs Ferry, so we appreciate everything that you guys do. I feel like I was at a couple other things.
The unveiling of the e-bikes today?
We did the unveiling of the e-bikes today, so now we have the e-bikes out there. And, all right, it'll come to me. So is there a motion to close tonight's meeting? Trustee Rosenberg, second. Trustee Nell, all in favor?
No.
Meeting is hereby adjourned.
It's 9:20.
See?